All right, my fellow hunters and huntettes, welcome back to the channel for another weapon overview. The Switch Axe in Monster Hunter Wilds. Switch Axe was a new addition in Monster Hunter Tri, and it's been a very good weapon to date. Probably a little underutilized, probably because the lack of mobility, but it does hit very well. It does take an adjustment to get used to the playstyle. More of it's hard to say it's hit and run. It's more just, kind of, get the monsters incapacitated and then, just start ripping it apart with the sword mode and, basically using I forget what the skill's called, but it's pretty cool. Basically charges up the charge blade, you stick it in the monster and then you just rev it up like a kind of like a chainsaw, and then it's an explosion at the end. It's a very cool attack. Very cool. I use Switch X a lot to fight Jin Moran and that basically like event quest. Where he had to break parts on the monster's back. And if you had a good enough build, you can just run onto the horns and just chop the horns off right there. So that will save you a step once you get to the final area to try to slay the beast. So Switch Axe is very nice. I also used it to take out what was that monster in Not Try Generations Ultimate. Who was uh the midway boss? I'm trying to remember. The bone boy covered in bones. I can't think. I don't know why I can't think of his name. What is his name? It'll come to me at some point, but you guys probably know. I had two heads, and then when you get it mad enough, it turn around. It's basically like the Kraken, basically. Um, but Switch X was very good, and yeah, people are nice around here. Switch X was nice against that monster and packed a lot of power, and it's pretty underutilized. I would like to see more balance come back. Uh, One of my good hunting buddies in my Discord that I am in uses Switch Axe faithfully, and kind of inspired me to try to make some Switch Axe builds and try it out. Just so he have another Switch Axe buddy. But let's get into the video. See what Switch Axe is doing in Monster Hunter Wilds. The sound effects. Oh, new combo route. Oh yeah, new combo route, new attack string. Wow, that's pretty good. Wow. Oh, that was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. Let me watch it again. That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. Oh, it's a focus mode skill. Just keep hacking, then go to the sword explosion. That's pretty good. And that has a parry too, apparently. Switch Axe has a parry too. Yep. Oh, is it just a easy count and the sword? Wow, the sword mode. That's too cool. That's too cool. Oh yeah, that's gonna get the Switch X a lot of attention. That's gonna get the Switch X a lot of attention. I like that. They did the Switch X a lot of some good justice, and giving it a little more mobility. But the attacks look much swifter. I know Switch X probably had trouble with mobility and the attacks being slow, so you kind of had to be real choosy with your spots, and you might be out of position where You might have to dodge sooner than you want when you're at the weak spot and an attack's coming, then you gotta dodge to get yourself out of position. I think a evade window would be good with switch axe in like World or Sunbreak. I think a evade window would be good so you can just stay in position. You see an attack coming, you dodge, you have the invulnerability, and you're still in position. But that's just my take on the switch axe and the previous games. But in Wild, it looks great. It looks like fantastic. So I think any big monsters that you might encounter with the switch axe and Wilds, it will probably see a lot of switch axes in those type of events quests like Azor Magdaros, Jin Moran, Lao Shanlong, those type of monsters. I think you'll see a lot of switch axe for those monsters, and especially in group hunts, because it looks like the switch axe can pack a punch, especially on bigger monsters because they're just a sitting target. So you just have to lash out as much damage as you can, and you don't have too many attacks to worry about. So for those specific quests, I see the switch axe being heavily used. But in traditional hunts, I also see it. I see a more balanced weapon usage rate in Wilds, just from them kind of bringing up other weapons that were underutilized and giving them additional mechanics and probably a little more mobility that they didn't have before. They had a lot of mobility in Sunbreak, but Wilds is kind of like it has the world style of gameplay, so they gave them a little bit more mobility and utility in Wilds. So there might be a different percentage usage, weapon usage rate in Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'm up for it. But I gotta stay true to my dual blades. But I will try out every weapon once we get to once we complete in game and everything, and I start making builds and seeing what's the best. I will experiment with the other weapons and definitely get the swing of things and have fun with each of them. But they did the switch axe very well. I'm very what's the word? Uh I like the trailer. Let's just say that. I like the trailer and the overview of the weapon. But let me know if you did in the comments. I think it was great. You may not. Switch axe users, let me know what you think. Did they do a good job with your weapon? Is anything you would like to add? Something's missing, in the world style of Monster Hunter? Let me know in the comments. But that's it from me, and I'd like to thank you for watching. As always, do the proper thing. Like, share, subscribe. Tune into the next videos, and I will see you then. Peace.